Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation getting a little late start today because I had some law business to deal with. But the Democratic convention is tonight. Are you going to be able to stomach and watch it? I'm not. I'm just going to read the news reports about it because my blood pressure would go up and I could not handle it. But as I said on my Facebook Live, it's really poetic justice or irony that it is in the most corrupt political city in the world, Chicago. When you look at what Hunter and Joe and Kamala and the whole gang. I mean, it's the corrupt city of the world. Kamala the communist, she went out and she said she wants to give $30,000 for 3 million new homes, first-time home buyers, and she wants to do $25,000, and she wants to do this, and she wants regulators on grocery prices and everything else, which has never worked. Didn't work under Jimmy Carter, didn't work under Richard Nixon. It didn't work. But she thinks it's going to work for her. It's just bad, bad, bad. Meanwhile, Trump is going to go to the battleground states while they're having their convention, which is smart. New York Times actually, a good writer, one of their top writers, wrote, he actually called it a coup getting Joe Biden out. A New York Times op-ed writer has now used the word coup. Washington Post called Kamala's economic policies gimmicks. And Trump says beating Kamala is going to be easier than Joe Biden. You can't make it up. She talked to some media finally, like a little short media. She screwed up the duality of democracy, got into the word salad. And there's now reports that Kamala's got a drinking problem. Uh-oh. All right. And here's some amazing things I want to talk to you about. They are tied in Wisconsin right now. Think about that. They're tied in Wisconsin. He's one up in Michigan. Think about that. Trump has now got 10 million followers on TikTok. Will Marchand, Judge Marchand, sentenced Trump to prison. A lot of people think he's going to. Ceasefire. Hezbollah fired about 50 missiles at Israel. So much for that ceasefire. By the way, the Harris-Biden administration wants that, don't they? Trump is up, although a little bit, he's still up in Pennsylvania. After all that's been going on the last month. Miriam Edelson, the rich woman that now owns the Dallas Mavericks, her husband was a big casino guy who passed away, is going to give $100 million in her PAC money to help Trump. Yes. People are so hurting right now. There was a very sad interview that somebody did about a woman that says, now I'm down to eating ramen noodles. That's sad. Now, what did Kamala say on her economic policy? She says, I'm going to focus on the middle class. Look what the Biden-Harris administration has wrought upon the middle class. Foreclosures, a credit card, no cash, not being able to pay their bills, inflation. Devastated the middle class. Devastated. J.D. Vance's plane on the way out west had to stop in Milwaukee, had a little technical issue. Everything's okay. The Supreme Court refused to knock back a Title IX, refused to reinstate a Title IX provision that would allow more transgenders in sports. Breastfeeding Secret Service lady. Can you imagine? Now, by the way, I'm okay with it. But if you're in the middle of protecting the president, can you stop to go breastfeed? Maybe that woman shouldn't be assigned to the president. All right, new homes are slumping. Speaking of the middle class, guess what? Eggs have gone up 20%. Trump transition team's been appointed, and it includes Eric Trump and Don Jr. I'm excited about that. And guess what? Tulsi Gabbard's been brought in. She's the one that took down Kamala in 2019. Has been brought in to help Trump with the debate. 40% of Americans say their bills are overdue. 40%. What do you think about that? Foreclosures up 18%. Folks, what is Kamala Harris going to do but make this all worse? Just to have power. Say she's first woman president. That's all that matters is we get a first woman president. Doesn't matter whether she does a good job or not. And last but not least, the GOP has issued their report. Joe Biden, impeachable conduct, corruption, sold out the United States, political gangster. What the hell is new? This has been the most corrupt president and vice president of all time. Joe Biden, political gangster. Do not be a traitorous, foolhardy scut. Mr. Spindley has lost 5 games of chess today, but at least he's still good at picking out Shakespeare. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Kick a man while he's down. Ladies and gentlemen, America, you're in Bulldog Nation. Welcome to Eric Deters Local News. There was a shooting in Sailor Park last night, and it was fatal. Michael Schwernigan, 35, has lost his life. An Ohio teacher has decided to go work at Walmart. Why? Makes $12,000 more dollars. Look for more teachers to leave. Walton, Kentucky, stone throw from here, has said they will not allow cannabis in their city. Serial robber escapes. Never heard of a serial robber. Steve Ivory, Jr., escaped the police. He must be a pretty good serial robber. 29-year-old shot dead. John Blanks III, 29, at the Banks. Now, this story is incredible. A man robbed a hot dog stand in a stolen car in front of the courthouse. Kevon Whitfield. He didn't get away with that. It reminds me of the story. Joe Deters' car once, when he was an assistant prosecutor, he was the prosecutor, had his car stolen. And he called the phone that was in the car, and the guy answered the phone. 12% of the medical positions in hospitals in Kentucky are vacant. Munchausen. They create the problem, and then they got to deal with it. There was a shooting down at Bach's Bar, formerly Legends Bar. I know the Bachweg family. He said it was much ado about nothing, but apparently 2 were shot inside and both taken, nobody arrested. But my buddy Bachweg says there was not a big deal. Silver Lake, there goes their end of their pool season. They have been found 12 cases of Cryptosporidium, a parasite and infected feces. People are crapping in the pool at Silver Lake. And that woman that got fired by Louisville mayor, the aide, apparently not only spent money on cosmetic surgery, but a trip to Aruba. This is the Bulldog. Do not be a traitorous, foolhardy scut. Be an oracle like me.
Hello, Jamie Spindley here. You're watching Eric Deters World News, the latest world headlines. A British flag yacht sank off Sicily early this morning in a whirlpool, resulting in the death and leaving 6 individuals unaccounted for. The vessel, carrying 22 people, including American, Canadian and British nationals, encountered trouble early this morning. Italian emergency services managed to save 15 people, including a 1-year-old child. A nationwide strike was held by doctors across India in response to the rape and murder of a female colleague in Kolkata, West Bengal. Over 1 million medical professionals participated, leading to the suspension of non-emergency services in hospitals and clinics throughout the country. In other news, 4 men who escaped from a psychiatric facility for convicts in Bavaria, Germany, are suspected of taking a staff member hostage and injuring him to secure their release. The escape occurred over the weekend from the BKH Leonhard Hospital in Straubingen, where the authorities are now searching for the fugitives. And the Central Bank of Libya altered all operations after the abduction of its IT director, Musab Malassam, in Tripoli. The bank condemned the kidnapping, which occurred Sunday morning, and warned other employees have also been threatened with similar attacks. That's the latest headlines from around the world. I'll be back tomorrow. Cheerio.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jerry Bulldog Nation, people say, well, why are you doing a sports show? It's because I like sports. Reds. They sweep the Cardinals. They got swept by Kansas City, and there wasn't even a close game. They got pulverized 3 straight games. They got 1 game from 500. Just couldn't get there. Carson Foster, the medalist of the Olympics, swimmer, throughout the opening day. I mean, it's not the opening day, but an opening pitch at the Reds-Kansas City game. Steve Kerr will no longer be the U.S. men's basketball coach. Cincinnati Open, the favorite, Alcaraz, lost, busted up his racket. He's apologized. Hunter Green's been placed on a disabled list. That's not good. United States flag football, they're going to be part of the Olympics. And guess what? The guys that play the flag football aren't happy about Joe Burrow and NFL players wanting to meddle with the action. And Mike Tyson went after Paul in the big old weigh-in. Tyson, of course, they do that on purpose. And Brandon Aubrey, the Dallas Cowboys, it's preseason, kicked a 66-yard field goal. He's going to break Turner's record. Bengals have brought back Perrine because Evans got hurt. I like Perrine. I'm glad he's back with the team. Caitlin Clark, first game back from the Olympics, she lit up Liberty. This woman made a statement that she should have been on that team. And CeeDee Lamb turned down an offer that made him the second highest paid wide receiver behind John Jefferson of Minnesota. What do you do? This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, America, Jerry, Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Pop Culture. Victoria Jackson of Saturday Night Live, she was very funny, has an inoperable tumor. Has about 3 years to live. She's taken it with a great attitude. William and Harry. Apparently, William says Harry will not be at my coronation. It looks like that is done. And speaking of Harry and Meghan came back from Colombia on their little trip. You know, it's embarrassing. You go to Colombia to try to get some press. Kai Trump Jr.'s daughter is going to play golf at the University of Miami. A doomsday fish washed up on the shore. Apparently, it's out in California. Doomsday fish signals something bad's going to happen. Well, maybe California will get the big earthquake. Matthew Perry apparently liked ketamine so much, he wanted to get in the business of selling it. Jack Russell of Great White. Remember that music hall that burned down and killed all those people? Great White was playing that night. He passed away. Nicolas Cage is going to play John Madden. It's going to be interesting. You know, I've never thought about Nicolas Cage as John Madden. And an add-on, Phil Donahue, 88 years old, the great talk show host, has passed away. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.